And we are back, getting ready for the big one, the 30-minute session. And Jonathan Alvarez is able to get the pole position. The number 34 with Maven Motion Pictures is going to have to deal with David Perez. Aside him, Maven Motion Pictures and Alga Products aside each other with Jonathan Alvarez and David Perez is going to be a very nice start to the race. Adrian, also Manu Rayo Largo and Victor Lobato. That's interesting. Behind them.
Yep, and it's we have to. You have to take a look at the numbers of those top drivers, because remember, this is the jackpot races. The pace car pulls out for the start of the formation lap. You said it right, that Jonathan Alvarez and David Perez are on the front row, and then Manu Rayo Largo in the 2 car and Victor Lobato in the 14. Then Daniel Herrera in the 38, which will take the place of the number 8 on the jackpot. Remember, everyone, this is important. Alongside Adrian Baeza for that 3rd row. Then Jose Manuel Sicilia and Juanjo Sanchez on the row 4. And completing the top 10, Victor de la Fuente, which is not having a great day so far, with Gerard Sardain completing the top 10. So those are the main contenders. Of course, there are other drivers that might get into the equation, and if the race gets too crazy, they might be in contention for the top spots, but the main names are there. We've seen the 2 races that have been held, and remember, 30-minute race with 1 pit stop due to fuel limits. And I think this is going to be a very strategic and interesting battle that might go down to the wire, as the last 2 have been.
Even though it's virtual, they have to use it wisely. The fuel shortage that they suffer, they have to deal with it in the race. And we are getting through the middle of the track as we enter the back straight. Our drivers will have to complete this space lap, and after that, they will go for broke in the last GHA Grand Session. 30 minutes of racing in front of us. All of our drivers up in 2 great long rows of cars and lines that we get to see in the distance. And we have around 50 cars today. And all of this is thanks to Grateful Hearts and our sponsor for this week's event, Be Social. So visit them in besocial.es or .com. And thanks to all of our sponsors that we are getting to see right now in every car. It's a good day for Kinetic Bike Windstream. 2 cars in the first 6 drivers in all of the sessions. And we are about to go. They're getting ready. The pace car is getting out of the way. And Jonathan Alvarez is going to hit the gas pedal hard. Green flag. He gets it all, and it's going to get hot behind. A couple of 2 whites, maybe 3 of them, as we approach the first turn, and Jonathan Alvarez manages to stay in front. A lot of parallel driving from the drivers behind.
Yep, and everyone made it through.
Yeah, and it seems that they've survived that situation just now. I don't know if they're going to keep going, but we see Manu Rayo Largo chasing David Perez and all of the drivers behind. Let's see what's happening with the group, because I think that in all of those parallel lines that we saw just now, something might have happened, but it seems that they are going clean all the way through.
Yeah, a few drivers have dropped behind, 2 of them, but otherwise it looks, well, it's a healthy group that has dropped back a few seconds, so they might have interrupted each other, but so far everyone else is on the grid and no major problems to be reported, as Jonathan Alvarez leads the race, but David Perez will try to look at every possible chance to take him out of the lead.
The first 5 or 6, 7 drivers going in the same pace, already staying in quite similar distances between each other. Samuel Wickham already with trouble, one of the very damaged cars. We
Yeah.
can see how that frame is bent.
He's going sideways practically. So yeah, he's had a crash somewhere, and that car is way out of pace.
That's not the way you want to go around.
Yeah. I mean, it is good for drifting. If you're going into the D1 championship, you might want to go that
You don't
way.
want
but-
that there in there either. You don't want that much of a bend.
We might have to investigate how to do a drifting championship. That will be interesting, but that's not what we do today.
That's for another day. Today we are watching all of this very fast pack of drivers. Miguel Maroto in a chase with that fire car from the first responders. Ricardo Marina Rollon trying to stay in front. Sander Cafa as well. The number 40 is staying in front of him. Naturally Morty with Kill Pop Radio. Chasing Sander Cafa with Ultimus Esports. Naturally Morty at number 17. Being able to stay in the top group right now in the middle, a little bit of in the front middle of the pack. And Alex Arteaga right now approaching that Payne Stewart Kick Golf's Academy car. In front of him, Miguel Maroto, Healthy Nails RX in his car, the number 37. Making himself noticed in the rear view mirrors of Ricardo Moreno Rollon. Samuel Buiquema trying to get back on track after we saw him with a very corrugated BMW just now. He's managing to get back on track, losing a little bit of time and a lot of traffic, cone flying around, but Carlos Molina was stopped there to the side, and we are watching Jose Miguel Lorenzo, the number 35 with the Emmanuel School, the Public School of India, and the Care Foundation making himself through the group, chasing Alex Arteaga. And I don't know if he's going to be able to approach Alex for the overtake, but he seems to have a good pace around that area. The drivers in front already establishing themselves with a bit of a gap between the first driver right now, Jonathan Alvarez with Maven Motion Pictures, the number 34, staying first, but just 0.3 of a second between himself and David Perez. Manu Largo very close to David, and we get to the second barrier between Victor Lobato and Jonathan Alvarez, so still very tight in the top four. And I think we still have more than a chance to see our drivers get it more than a pickle, and and it's going to be interesting. We are watching now that very flexible line of cars right now going around the turn number 7, and they're going to have a chance to overtake all of them, but well, we don't know who's going to do it when they approach that breaking point in 10A.
It does look like everyone is trying to do the same as it happened the last time around, save fuel, which is why they are running in a line and trying to respect each other's gaps until there's an opening. And I think that will be the way to go in this first stint. As long as the tires hold on, and then everything will be sorted. Then, and let's see who pits earlier, who pits later. That's the main point of discussion when discussing strategy. With the things where the way things are going, and let's see David Perez wants to take the lead at some point, or if he's content with letting Jonathan lead.
Victor Lobato staying in the middle of it, and with a chance to overtake that Kinetic by Windstream car of Manu Rio Largo, and another Kinetic by Windstream car behind him. That Region Subiru Pageant car of Victor Lobato is going to have to be strong, because he has quite the heat on top of him. And in front of him as well, long line of cars in the top 10. We see them with Very similar gap, and a move there by Jose Manuel Sicilia approaching Victor Lobato very close, and it's going to take advantage again. Jose Manuel Sicilia is not going to retain the position. Daniel Herrera is going to take it back, and a very exciting move there by Jose Manuel Sicilia, bringing a little bit of a spicy spice to the situation. Jose Manuel Sicilia, the number 5.
That was a legit attempt. It didn't pan out as good as Jose Manuel was hoping, but it had to be done at that point, and drivers usually tend to feel that urge. But we are already 7 minutes down, 23 to go in this long race, and everyone's still following in this nice line. We saw the race being broken into groups. On the first sprint race, we had those groups of 5 or groups of 6, 4 cars that were breaking up as the race went on, and I don't think we're going to see that pattern until just before the first pit stops, and especially right after that, we're going to get probably a wider picture of where are every car on the grid.
And I don't know if he's going to try that again in the future, but he seems to be more composed right now. I don't know if he's going to go for that type of attack again, but I think it was more than an attack. It was a safety measure what he had to pull there. We saw that very deep braking of Jose Manuel Sicilia. Close to Victor Lobato. Very exciting times in here, and very exciting pace that the drivers have, but it wasn't for the benefit of Jose Manuel. The situation there, I don't know if it's going to I don't know if the drivers in front are going to let him catch up again, but it's going to be hard for him, because we can see that they are going very hard. But although I don't know if Jonathan Alvarez is trying to maintain the pace, but they're very close to each other.
They're kind of converging just behind them. At some point, it looked like Herrera close to running into the back of Victor Lobato because of how much he had to lift through the tree corner. And this is probably being dictated by Jonathan. Jonathan is setting up the pace. Everyone is being kind of slow and trying to think strategy-wise. And as long as David Perez doesn't want to make a change of pace and move and shake around things, Jonathan will set this early stage of the race. And so far, I think everyone is following along nicely. At least that group of 8-9 drivers.
Staying patient is David Perez, because he's very close to Jonathan Alvarez. He's trying to stay in that range from Jonathan. The Maven Motion Pictures car is still first, the number 34. David Perez, the number 19, second. Manu Rayo Largo, the number 2, in third place, and Victor Lobato fourth. Up to this point, those are the top 4 drivers for the GHA jackpot. Let's see how it finishes. Stefan Haudler with a little bit of fight with that Healthy Nails car of Marcos Calvo, I think it is.
Yep, and Calvo actually making the pass. This is the battle to not finish last on the lead lap, because the 3 cars that they have behind them are cars that have lost a lap due to either an incident or a pit stop. So they are battling for the last place on the lead lap. This is the battle to not finish behind everyone else. And this is also interesting because they do have their battles and they are heated as well.
And where we have action guaranteed is in this top 5 group, but we are going to have to take a quick little break, and we will be right back. So please stay tuned, stay with us, and we will keep racing. Don't go anywhere.
For thousands of years, our ancestors have treated diseases and sicknesses by natural means, using plant and earth materials like herbs and trees. In just 100 years, mankind has developed amazing scientific advancements that allow us to enjoy a better life. However, without proper balance, a poor diet, and lack of exercise, our health can deteriorate. Inflammation in the body becomes our worst enemy when it comes to maintaining a healthy lifestyle. So how do we prevent our health from declining? Natural medicine. A trusted name in the field of natural medicine is Herbax. For over 20 years, Urbex has been producing and distributing natural supplements. Urbex has developed unique patented formulas, duly FDA registered, that achieve optimal health results and help our body regenerate back to its normal functions. We invite you to look at Urbex to adopt new, healthier habits and live a natural lifestyle. Go to urbexusa.com now.
And we are back with the action in front. Manu Rayo Largo maintaining himself in the chase for the second position behind David Perez. Arca Products in the car of David Perez, number 19, and we already have some drivers entering the pit lane.
Yeah, it looked like a couple of the front runners have gone through the pits. I didn't quite catch who of them were, but they have done, and now it is the turn for the leaders.
Victor Lobato still chasing, still surviving, and that top four. Victor de la Fuente trying to approach the group in front. Juan Jose Sanchez in front of him, the number 4 with Future Nissan. Chasing him is Alberto Toribio Garcia with the Red Rock Chocolate Factory behind Victor de la Fuente, and we are watching Adrian Baeza, number 16, in front of all of those mentioned, with Be Social, our sponsor for this week's event.
Stefan Caza and Antonio Jesus Villalon are the 2 drivers that have pitted this time around, so they are not amongst the top 10, but I do think that stop might be sooner or closer than we expect. And
Sooner.
Yep, exactly. It is coming in a matter of time. So far, the top contenders stay on the track. They're gonna do another lap. It is still a bit earlier. They might go even 2 laps more if they've handled the fuel strategy correctly. And I think that the slower pace that they have been setting through the start of the race might be a good cause.
Already very interesting in this third session, 30 minutes overall, and we are approaching the equator of the race as we get into the 16-minute barrier. Manu Rayo Largo staying third with Kinetic Bike Windstream, the number 2, staying very close to that Alca Products car of David Perez, and I don't know if he's going to try to make the overtake before they approach the pit lane, which is something that they might be thinking of as well, don't you think, Adrian?
Yep, exactly. And so far the race has been pretty competitive, even with the wait and see approach that they have taken. And it looked like it's been slightly broken as the drivers are looking to get into the pit lane. I think the top 5 are all entering pit lane.
Let's see if they are moving into the pit lane. Let's see, because I think they are. Yeah, they are entering the pit lane, as you said, Adrian. Jonathan Alvarez and Juan Jose Sanchez having a spin, entering the pit lane.
Wow.
Trying to correct it as fast as possible, making a 180 to rectify his trajectory.
Now that wasn't expected.
Tough enter for Juan Jose Sanchez with Future Nissan, although entering in a very spectacular fashion.
Yeah, we do have 3 drivers that have not pitted among the top runners, which are David Perez, Victor Lobato, and Adrian Baeza. All the others have made their pit stops. And
I don't know who's going to get out first.
Yep, and let's see how this shapes.
David Perez still rolling with Victor Lobato. And we don't know from those men that we saw enter the pit lane who got in front, who stopped the fastest. And let's see how they converted their positioning after having to make the stop. David Perez still staying in front. I don't know if he's going to be able to get time from entering now. Very, very fast entrance to the pit lane with Victor Lobato as well, going very fast into the pit lane. Jonathan Alvarez is going to be the question right now. Who is going to enter or exit, I might say better, the pit lane, or who is going to be ahead?
Yep.
as they go through the pit lane exit. Jonathan Alvarez going through the finish line. I don't know if he's going to stay in front or how wacky this is going to get to Carlos Molina. I don't know if he's lapped or if he's not, but that's the way it's going to be. Jonathan Alvarez staying in front of David Perez. David Perez having to incorporate himself behind, and it stays in the same way we saw it, but very close. Incorporation from David Perez. Very good. Very well done.
Yep, very, very well done. And that could be a huge game changer for him, but because David will have to force his way through. 12 minutes to go, it's still a long way to go, so to speak. But well, very well played on the strategy. Victor Lobato is still in third place, and just behind him, I think it is the Kinetic by Windstream cars. Manu Rayo Largo in fourth, and Daniel Herrera in fifth. So that's how it shapes after the pit stops.
And we got an overtake behind. I don't know if it's happening or not. It seems that it was a lap driver letting them go by. David Fabian Martinez, and the pit lane stopped, the number 48. In the middle of the stop, and Daniel Herrera still chasing his companion in front, Manu Rayo Largo, and having to persist the pressure incoming from Jose Manuel Sicilia with Alpauto Paints. He's making himself noticed, the number 5 approaching the top 5. And right now, the man taking that position from him is Daniel Herrera. So I don't know if he's going to be able to overtake him, but I'm sure that he's going to try. And we are in the 18th minute of the race. And we saw already a lot of changes in the positions between the top 4 and the top 5. And it might be about time to see a change in the top 5 as well. Jose Manuel Sicilia taking a little bit of a size above Daniel, going for the overtake. Adrian Baez as well. Daniel Herrera not putting any resistance to those two. And he's going to stay behind. I don't know if Daniel did stop in the pit lane already, but it seems that they're going with a pace as if they did.
And that's the battle with from the perspective of well, from the rear perspective of Jose Manuel Sicilia. Now we're seeing him from the front, defending himself from Adrian Baeza and Daniel Herrera, who has lost quite some pace after that pit stop. Down to 7th he goes, and now the battle looks to be him on the top 4.
Close there, Adrian Baeza taking speed from the right, and Jose Manuel Sicilia recognizes the move. He's going to let Adrian go in front, be social in the front of that BMW M4 GT3 of Adrian Baeza, number 16, with our sponsor for this week's event.
I do wonder if Victor de la Fuente, well, I think he had an incident on the entry of the pit lane. We saw it earlier, so he's been the biggest loser from that. But I think we have a very interesting situation for the lead, and Lobato trying to take second place from David Perez. I think he may have done it.
Well, let me tell you, my friend, if I finish a race inside the top 10 in this group, you won't see me feel like a loser ever, because
not at all.
It's something that I must state every time. The level that all of these guys I have in here is top notch, and I really respect the way they are racing today, especially in this groups in here. Let's see if it stays that way. They don't prove me wrong, and they stay in a tough battle with clean manners. That's what I enjoy personally, and I hope to see a little bit of a contact between cars. Let's see we get a chance to see these BMWs have a little bit of a bump action between them, and let's see if David Perez stays in front. He was able to overtake Jonathan Alvarez, and I think Jonathan is not hasn't said his last word. Question though, what's going to happen with that CVT Boss's car in front just now? Let's see if it manages to stay out of the way. Very complicated line given from that driver to the drivers following, but he manages to stay out of the way in a good point. Well done. CVT Boss is staying clean in that situation. DVD Perez, I was going to say. David Perez, the number 19 in ACA Products, in his car, managing to stay in front. Gerard Sardeni Saez, the number 31 Bikini USA, in his car, staying 8th up to this point, chasing Jose Manuel Sicilia, who right now must feel the pressure incoming from Gerard, and I'm sure he's going to think of making the overtake as soon as possible. A ASAP situation for Jose Manuel Sicilia. Let's see what he manages to do. David Perez staying in front with ACA Products. The number 19, chased by Maiden Motion Pictures, and Jonathan Alvarez, the number 34. Victor Lobato and the Regency Beauty Pageant as well in 3rd place. And we are going to have to take a quick little break to see how this one ends. We'll see you right away. Stay with us and don't go anywhere.
Been damaged by accident?
Bring it here at iPhone Doctor.
Or has it been damaged by water?
Bring it here at iPhone Doctor.
We're located at 751 North Rancho Drive, 702-553-2800. We also repair iPods and iPads.
iPhone Doctor.
We have services with connection plan, sales, and cellular activation. The best place to have your iPhone like brand new.
iPhone Doctor.
702-553-2800.
And we are back with the action, the same as we left them when we went to the break. And then we go with David Perez, the number 19, ACA Products, in his car, staying in front with Jonathan Alvarez chasing him, as well as Victor Lobato. How do you think this is going to end, my friend Adrian?
I do think this is trending up to be a close battle to the end of the race, where I don't think Jonathan Alvarez will sit content with 2nd place. Probably he's gonna stay close enough to make an overtake or an attempt on a move, and that's when David Perez will have to calm his nerves and try to be as steady as Manu Regalado was in the 2nd race. Though, I will say, I don't think Victor Lobato, being half a second away from a win in 3rd place, is gonna stay idle as well. I think that he might want to surprise the 2 top contenders.
It seems that Manu Rayo Largo has the 4th position secured. I don't know if that's going to be that way, although it's a little bit of a gap between himself and Adrian Baeza, who has the possibility to get to Manu Rayo Largo. We still have 4 minutes and a half to get to the end of the session. I must remember all of our viewers that this event is sponsored by Be Social this week, so thank you very much to Be Social. Visit them at besocial.es.com. Also visit allgratefulhearts.org to get all the information about the raffles and the GHA jackpot, and if you donate, you will get tickets to participate in those raffles in which we will give away a 2021 Nissan Sentra, as well as products from Healthy Nails RX, Red Rock Chocolate Factory, and many more. Please check them out. You will, if you participate in the raffles, you will get tokens that will let you participate in the GHA jackpot that we have ongoing just now, which we are watching the top 4 drivers compose those numbers in the combination. The last two numbers will be picked randomly. So good luck to all of you that have already placed your guesses, and let's see if you have luck. David Perez staying in front. We could see the car with a little bit of dirt in the sides, having to deal with the pressure of that exhaust on the sides. A lot of drivers in front of him, and David Perez has been pushing the pace hard this last two laps, and he's managing to keep a little bit of distance. He's trying to take advantage of the lap driver in front, or at least it seemed like that for a second. And Victor Lobato going for the overtake, taking advantage of the situation between Jonathan Alvarez and the lap driver. Jonathan Alvarez seems to play cool.
That was bound to happen. He lost just enough ground with David Perez for this to happen, and now let's see if Victor Lobato is able to go for David Perez. Remember, he has not won a race this season. He might have his biggest chance so far, and we said it already so many times in the last few weeks. Lobato gives his best in the longer races. He might have something under his sleeve for the final 2 minutes.
Now I'm going to mention the Rolling Stones. I'm going to say that don't you play with me because you're playing with fire. And I don't know if Jonathan Alvarez is going to be the man playing with the fire in Victor Lobato, but I think if he doesn't want that up to this point, I don't know if he's going to do it, but it seems that Victor Lobato really wanted that second position, and he is on his way to be also a little bit of a menace for David Perez in front, who is still with a little bit of a gap, and they are with the same gap between each other, the first, the second, and the third cars right now. David Perez with Alca Products, Victor Lobato with Regency Beauty Pageant, and Jonathan Alvarez with Maven Motion Pictures, the number 19, 14, and 34. Completing those top four numbers is Manu Largo with the number 2, and Kinetic by Windstream. Go ahead.
And by the way, just in case something happened between the top two contenders that might take them out of a race, well, I was gonna say that 5th and 6th are Adrián Baeza and Alberto Toribio, but Alberto Toribio has just made a second pit stop, just as Jose Manuel Sicilia has done. So that promotes Gerard Sardin to 6th place. A lot of drivers are pitting in this closing minute. Some of them probably have not been able to make the race on just one pit stop, and that's gonna shake the order a little bit in that top 10. As I said, Gerard Sardin being promoted to one of his best results of the season.
And I'm going to say that one of the very affected drivers by the pit stop is Daniel Herrera, who fell to 19th in the qualifying positioning right now in the race. And we are watching David Perez as we are 20 seconds to finish the session. They're going to have to go for an extra lap, I think. And we are watching him pulling a little bit of a gap. I don't know how it's going to go behind, although we can see gaps between all of the drivers behind them. It seems that this last round has really the pit stop has really break the group a little bit.
Jonathan Alvarez might be saving fuel to make the end of the race. He's lost 4 seconds on this last lap, and he's dropping a lot. I don't know if he may be overtaken even by Manuel Rey Largo for 3rd, but he may be coasting to make the end of the race.
Let's see how it goes. Manuel Rey Largo, I don't know if it's going to even... I'm going to say that not even Manuel Rey Largo is going to want to make the overtake up to this point, because they don't want to compromise the quantity of fuel that they are using. Jonathan Alvarez staying 3rd, 2 lapped drivers in the middle of them, and I think that there's still much space for Jonathan Alvarez and much gasoline inside that BMW M4 GT3. Jonathan Alvarez, the number 34, maybe Motion Pictures, being able to get to the end or not.
It might look like it. Oh, well, Jonathan is just coasting very big time, but the win is gonna go to David Perez.
Very well done, David. Very well done. Victor Lobato as well. Very fierce and throughout the sessions, and David attaining a little bit more of incidents that he would have wanted in that
Celebratory
celebration.
crash.
Having a little bit of a crash in the celebration, but happy nonetheless. Jonathan Alvarez, Maven Motion Pictures, the number 34, finishing third. Victor Lobato at number 14 with Regency Beauty Pageant, finishing second. David Perez first with Alca Products. Very proud that they've made their sponsors. And Manu Rayo Largo with Kinetic by Windstream, managing to finish fourth. So the combination of that top four is 1934.
It looks like the John has ran out of fuel in the final lap. He was 7th, but I saw his lap times dropping. Martin de Jong has essentially ran out of fuel, so he drops out of the top 10. That benefits Alberto Toribio, Natalie Morti, and another one of the newcomers, the 37 car with Miguel Maroto, who will close out those top 10 positions. But as you said, the top 4 goes to the 19, the 14, the 34, and the 2.
There you go. Thank you very much. That's the combination of numbers in the top 4. 19, 14 for Victor Lobato, 34. Jonathan Alvarez, Manu Rayo Largo second, in fourth, the number 2 in fourth position.
And then once Martin de Jong out of fuel.
Yeah, some of them might have suffered that destiny. I'm sorry to say, but it was one heck of a ride today, my friend. It was very, very interesting. And since we have to give you the numbers of that GHA jackpot, we are going to prepare that, and we are going to take a quick break, and we will be back with the combination of numbers for that GHA jackpot. So please stay tuned, stay with us, and we'll see you right away.